today I'm going to talk about some different under the sea activities that you could do with your early years child. As always, if you've got any questions or if you want to share any under the sea activities that you do at home, please feel free to use the chat section. So let's dive straight into it. Learning about different sea creatures is a great way to encourage your child to develop empathy, respect, and even develop their confidence with different aspects. It's also a good way to support your child's early understanding of different scientific concepts, such as habitats and animals, of course, as well. It also promotes your child to engage with a range of different animal-themed vocabulary to support their language and communication skills as well. So first, I'm going to share some different activities that are kind of like small world activities. So this is one that I made here. So I just crushed up some cereal for some sand, and I mixed some corn flour, so 2 cups of corn flour with 1 cup of conditioner and some blue food colouring to make the sea. If you add in a little bit more corn flour, it makes it into a little bit more of a malleable sauce. But this is a really great experience that allows your child to engage with a range of different sensory materials. I didn't have any sea creatures, so I just printed some out from the website. And I also added a couple of coloured pastas here to look a little bit like corals. You could encourage your child to add in some small world play stories, and they could even make it into a bit more of a listening game and say, oh, can you see an animal that starts with the letter S that makes the S sound, for example. Next, I'm going to show you a little small world setup, which is from the Twinkl Parents Hub. So this is basically a water play activity. It's made using coloured water with some bubbles in it, and it's also got some different sea creatures in there as well, and some different sponges to look a little bit like rocks. You could also add in some different cups to allow your child to explore with filling a cup and pouring, which will support their maths development and their physical skills such as hand-eye coordination. There's also some lovely ideas that you could do to enhance this a little bit further here as well, including singing a range of different songs that are related to under the sea and sea creatures as well. So next I'm going to share some different sensory activities again. So this one here is mess free, so you're welcome, and it is based on a busy bottle, if I can find it. There we go. So the idea of a busy bottle is that you put different items relating to a theme, such as under the sea. So here is some water, it's got some food colouring in, some eco glitter, and some different sea creatures as well. These are excellent because it allows young children to explore with smaller items without physically touching them. Make sure that you glue the lid on so that it doesn't fall off, of course. But they're really calming and they are portable as well. So you could simply put them in your bag when you go out for a meal or when you go to a family member's house. But they're also quite calming and relaxing for children to watch. You could introduce this into your tummy time as well to encourage your child to move around, which would also develop their physical skills as they have a go at shaking it around as well. So next is a science experiment, which honestly, it blew my mind when I first did it. So you need a little bowl or a tray with some warm water in it, not boiling hot, but warm. And then a little spoon, which is dry, and some white ball pens. The idea is that you draw on a little fish or any shape that you want onto the spoon with the white ball pen. And then you slowly put it into the water, and eventually it will kind of float into the water. You can see it a little bit more clearly in this video. So you kind of put it in and it floats off. I don't know how that happens. Really clever. But it's a great one to explore with your little one because for me, not all of the different colours worked. So it's a great way to explore and predict what they think might happen. And it's also quite a good one to get your child to develop attention skills as well, because sometimes it takes a little bit longer for them to go on into the water. If it's a larger fish, it takes longer. If it's smaller, it's quicker. It's just a lovely activity which uses things that you probably already have around the house and is super quick to do as well. So next I'm going to talk about some different art activities that you could do. This one here is a really simple little headband. And I've just cut out a shape of a star. You could get your child to cut out the outline as well. If they're struggling with using scissors, I've got a really handy little song that might help them. Because usually if they're struggling to use child-safe scissors, it's because they're wondering how to hold them. So it goes a little bit like this. Fingers on the bottom, thumb on the top, open up wide and say chop chop. So I then used bubble wrap just to paint in on the starfish. Bubble wrap is a great material for younger children to explore with. They love the feel of it, the sounds that it makes, and it's just a great way to also support your child's physical skills as well. They can then wear their little hat and they might want to pretend to be a starfish. They might make their own little stories up, and it could keep them busy for a while. Next, again, really super simple, is a little jellyfish. I think she's really cute. So again, you could get your child to cut out the face. They could then use a little hole puncher here to punch some little holes in, which is great for their physical skills, and then have a go at poking some different pipe cleaners or even cotton through, whatever you've got. And then they could add on some different things. So I've just used some hooped cereal here because I already had that in the house, and some sequins as well. Again, super easy and quick, but I'm sure your child will love it. You could also enhance it a little bit further for your child's math. So you might write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above, and they've got to add that specific amount of hooped cereal or sequins to the pipe cleaners. Once you've done that, they could just play around with it in your little doll's house or in your little small world setup of the ocean, and I'm sure it will keep them entertained. So next I'm going to show you a really useful game which can be found on the Twinkl Parents Hub, and it's a What Am I game. So if you've got a printer, you could print this out. If not, you could just simply make a little headband like the one I showed you before and draw some little pictures for things that are under the sea, such as creatures and things like divers as well. This is a really good one, especially for children who are kind of 4 and above, as it really encourages their questioning and communication and language skills. The idea is they've got to ask questions to figure out what animal they are. And if you've got the headband on the animal, they've got to answer your questions. So it's an excellent way to really support your child to engage with a range of different vocabulary, which will really support their social skills, but also their understanding of the world and, of course, their language skills. Next, I'm just going to share some different activities that we've also got on the Twinkl Parents Hub, including this activity pack, which is appropriate for children between 3 and 5. So this has got lots of different activities and they're all in one place. So it's got things such as, can you plan out a sea creature to build with building bricks, which will really support your child's their understanding of imagination, creativity and problem solving. And also different things like spot the difference to support their observation skills. And this one here is really handy if your child is in reception, as soon they will be learning about number bonds that add up to 5. So they can have a look at what number the crab is holding and see if they can work out what number they need to add to it to make the number that's there for the number 5. You could always draw these out for your child to engage with as well, and maybe even do some up to 10, as that is a milestone to reach by the end of reception. There's also some lovely ideas for recyclable fish printing, like using the bubble wrap here, and for the puffer fish using a fork to drag along, and also using a piece of celery to add some scales onto the fish, which are just lovely ways to use handheld resources and different materials to make and create something that's lovely. I like this one. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's on the other one. Next is... share this one instead. Next is this really useful resource pack that's full of different things. So this is appropriate for babies even. It's just got lots of different things. In fact, it's got 36 pages of different things that you could use to support your child's understanding of ocean animals. Things such as little flashcards. It's got loads of simple colouring that are great for early years because they're not too detailed. And this is what I wanted to show you earlier, these lovely little handprint and footprints. These will make lovely keepsakes, and your child would love the feeling of the paint on their hands and feet, I'm sure. And also included in this are these lovely little number cards, which are great for subitizing, where children have got to look and not count, which is a skill for children between 3 and 5. And there's some starfish pizzas here. This is a really great resource because the The instructions that have got the little hands next to mean that it's appropriate for your child to help you with those steps as well, to support physical skills, understanding of the world, and their communication and listening skills as well. There's also some songs. So that's it for me today. If you've got any questions, as always, please drop them in the chat section. I'll be back on Wednesday for a live all about Read an eBook Day. So I hope to see you there. Have a great day.